All right, following the attack. How do we counter someone's motion and counter them after the fact? A lot of times, again, I can meet attack, I can counter a position. We're gonna go over so many different types. This one is follow. How do I open up someone from making them punch, kick, whatever, and then follow that back? I like to think about like a magnet in a scenario. So if he's jabbing at me, I'm learning to block, okay, or catch, doing something to know that range. And then when they throw a jab, we'll just use a jab for just our basic punch on this one to understand. Do it slow. I'm following it back. As it's going back is where I'm finding my shot. So I want to think like a magnet. If he throws good jab, again, good jab, better. So I want to follow motions where they get stuck for a second. A lot of times, if he's hitting me and I'm getting a solid shot and I'm getting a good body form, where it's like, oh, he's driving me. They get real strong. So now you find your range. I get him to pull in. He falls in. So again, we'll do it slow. I eat the jab on the forehead, not strong. It doesn't mean you go out there and just start biting through these. There is drills that'll help you understand how to take a punch, where you'll bite into it. This one, I'm taking his commitment and letting him get that feel. What I'm doing when I'm taking this jab, just so you know, is I'm giving him that pocket of the jab down the middle so he sees it. He's not seeing the hook. My hands are in a good position, and I'm watching the right hand, okay? So if I'm eating the shot and I see his right hand open, I can step out, I can be in position. So my vision is not just on the jab. It's open vision. My vision, I can see everything out here. He's throwing the jab. My eyes are open on everything, okay? So we don't know what's gonna follow. So I gotta keep this hand position to be able, if he throws a jab and then he wants to hook off of it, I've gotta defend what I'm seeing. And once I know that I have this and I'm prepared on my defense, then I can start being a magnet and following attacks where I get them to reach. Okay, throw a jab for me again. Good solid jab. Now I magnet the jab. So feel like your head is working, that you almost want to feel the end of it and follow it. A lot of times when people throw a jab, like if I'm throwing a jab at Justin right now, let's switch sides, okay? If I'm throwing a jab at Justin, that's a good jab, okay? I might be opening a little wide back here. He's got to find those spots. If I'm throwing a jab like this, when he's blocking a jab, he's got to pay attention to what my hand is doing on the return when you're using the magnet technique, okay? If I'm throwing a jab and boom, my hand's falling down here as I'm bringing it back, he knows he just got to shoot it down the middle and follow it. So that's what I'm watching for when he's throwing a jab at me, is I'm watching hand positions, okay? If he's coming back real high with it, I might start to find other shots that are coming up the middle, okay? If he's throwing a jab and going real high with it, I might be following back to the body. So again, from a defensive standpoint, know why you're doing this. You've got to have consciousness to why we're doing this. We're not just blindly eating the jab and swinging something, okay? So step one is know the range of the jab. Step two is as my eyes are open and I'm giving him a little bit of a taste, I'm paying attention to what he's doing with the other parts of his body so I'm not getting hit with a combination. And then I'm finding his bad tendencies that he's doing off of this jab to follow him back. And I'm just using a jab here. It could be the cross. If I know he's about to throw a cross because he's a squared up type of guy when he likes to throw a cross, and I'm reading the tendencies, every time he squares up, oh, you're killing me with the jab. Then I might be really just trying to set up a power hook. So I'm following these. How am I gonna get that magnet feel off of a punch, okay? A lot of times too, so if he's throwing a left hook, this I like I'm following the hook. I'm not going with it where I'm meeting it. Sometimes giving him the shot and following it right back. Again, feel like a magnet. Once the glove goes past you, it's like your body's returning into them. And again, trying to do it off their single shot tendencies. If he's throwing a jab and it's always coming with a two, let's go ahead and step back. And his tendency is he likes to throw 1-2 all the time. Don't do it off of that. Or you might want to bait the cross. Again, that's a step up. So again, know the tendencies. When you are sparring with someone or we go into a fight, I think it's very important to understand who you're against in that first 30 seconds, just to see tendencies. You can watch someone on tape. Once you feel them and see them, tendencies start to come out. This guy is very good at that. You're a point to A to B striker. Like he's very good with the meet the attack, okay? So I want to go over just like things that work really good for me on these meeting of the attacks, or excuse me, following the attack, is if he throws a shot at me, okay, and I want to deflect, I can put him a little bit off balance. So let's do it again. Okay, I can follow. He's balanced, okay? If I deflect, now I've got him off balance. So all I'm doing is deflecting the shot before my counter. Deflect, counter. Okay, so I'm deflecting first to put him a little bit off balance. When we're deflecting, guys, okay, if I'm doing a parry or pushing off his jab here, and he goes to throw and I'm doing this, I'm pretty much, I whopped you right around to that hook. You see that little pivot there? Boom, okay? Make sure that if I'm doing that, I'm not going too low. I always like to keep an elbow on the body when doing these types of things so I can be defended, okay? If I start to go out, it's very hard to start to defend these unless I get my shoulder up, okay? So when doing this, all I'm doing is just pushing him to the ground and putting him a little front heavy, okay? If he's throwing a cross at me, it's the same thing. I'm just deflecting just a little bit, okay? Let's do that again for this overhead camera. When he throws a right hand, don't reach, okay? He could fake a straight right and go with the overhand. Boom, okay? When doing this, my elbow stays on the line of my body and it's my turn that does that, okay? So as I do that, now I can follow the attack. So it's just a short motion to disrupt his body. Very important, okay? So I'm gonna throw a right hand at you and I wanna feel it. I wanna feel the deflect, don't even worry about the counter yet. Let's get the off balance first. I throw a right hand, he deflects. Yep, let's do it again. Good. So a little less bite and a little bit, almost like you're just putting a little bit of weight on the shoulder. So I'm down, that's the key. If I'm strong with my hips and I throw a good shot, now he just got me front heavy. Meaning if you don't touch me right now, go, don't touch me. I'm strong with my hips, I can get it back. If I throw that same shot and he deflects me in this angle downwards, now I'm instantly just got over my hips. This is a great time to start to find your counters, okay? If I throw a jab, okay, so parry my jab, okay, and again, good. Let's put it even a little bit more weight on that right elbow, where, again, yep, again. And you can put a little bit of angle on the hand, just touch. Boom, yes, do it again. Boom, that's better. I like your hand position here instead of here, okay? Yeah, and you can still use, oh, I like that, okay? Notice what he does afterwards instead of you countering me, okay? I want you to just think about what do you need to think about from a defensive standpoint before we get to the counters. A lot of times we can look for a counter and you get killed, cause a head-on collision because you ain't paying attention to the steps, okay? If he parries my jab, what should he do with his hand? That hand should come back here instantly because of this, okay? So those are the patterns you need to create before you can think about the counter. Let's do it again, give me a little bit more space. Okay, now when I throw this shot, pause on it and tell me what you would like to throw from that.
Probably uppercut,
okay,
or 3-2.
Okay, let's see. Boom, boom, good. And why did you pick that combo? Now I just want to hear it from his standpoint.
Because that's the, I mean, my uppercut's gonna, you're low in the base, I need to get you tall. I need to get you over your heels so that my right can be effective. And you've already come forward, so there's only one way you can go here, and it's backwards.
Awesome. So what he just explained here, and I wanted to hear it from his perspective because I know what I felt. When he caught my jab, boom, I'm down. I'm front heavy now. My weight is going over my lead hip. Okay, so now he's got space for his hips to punch. Okay, so now he can use that 3 to pick me up and drive through me. So a power counter. Very important to know what you're throwing in those scenarios, and I'll go over this step by step. Learn, talk to your partner. If he's throwing a jab at me, and I'm doing this, like what does he feel? What does he think's coming? Does he think the straight's coming? Or does he think the uppercut's coming? These type of positions where you look and slow it down is gonna really help you understand your style. And then also, them from a defensive standpoint, if someone does that, that's different. I like the loop when you were throwing a jab at me, how you were swiping almost like you're pummeling.
Oh yeah.
I really like that. Like that to me, that would be great for an elbow setup. Like if I'm countering here, I got elbow. Because I'm opening that wing and that shoulder to find an elbow. So we could pick hundreds of different combos to do this with. It's not like they're set in stone. When we're deflecting shots, how do we get them off balance so we can counter their position and follow them back with power shots, okay? I can always do a basic, if he throws a jab, high, boom, and go back with simple shots. Yeah, so we can build from those. But a good counter fighter is gonna learn how to disrupt his balance, his position, but follow him back in a safe zone, knowing that they're not gonna get hurt, okay? Because I'm deflecting, I'm making his hips off balance, and then I can find power shots as they're trying to regain their self. Okay, so I'm gonna go over parrying and catching shots. This is very fun, we do this a lot. Is I'll throw a right hand at him, and I have him slip out of the way of my right hand, okay? He throws his right hand at my shoulder, so it wouldn't be my chin, but he's gonna be nice to me. He throws at my shoulder while he's defending and slipping my right hand, and then he comes back with the left hook as I throw a left hook at him, so he's gotta defend it, and he hits my other shoulder. We'll do it slow. I throw a right hand, he slips, boom. And again, pause on the first one.
That's not slow.
Are you fast. Again, pause on the first, boom. So he's hitting my shoulder, okay? I am now throwing a very common combo in this sport is the cross hook. So I'm coming back with the hook. He's got to defend my hook and hook my shoulder. So he's paying attention to my shoulders. He's causing head-on collision. Boom. Those type of collisions are the best when counter-fighting. I say it all the time, and you might hear me in the corner talk to my fighters about hook with them. And what I mean by hook with them means that someone is hooking like this, where their wings open and they start hooking. Instead of being like tight when they're throwing hooks, they start to open and get wild when they throw. And those type of counters are sometimes the best because you cause these head-on collisions. So when we throw this right hand, we'll have to go ahead and throw it as a combo now. I throw at his head, he slips, he looks at shoulder, shoulder. So he matches my beat, because that's what causes the head-on collision. He can't be faster, he's gotta match it, okay? So boom, boom, head again. Yeah. Boom, boom, good. Are you good? Yeah. Boom, hands, good. A little tighter with your defense, just a touch. You're a little far out, a little tighter. And that'll help you lean your head into it, which you might be being nice to me. Boom, hands, good. And again. Hands, good. Oh, that's much better. Again.
That's hard.
Yep. Boom. You'll see the position in my body when I'm tall and you're driving, he knocks me back naturally. One thing I am seeing though, Justin, is when we're throwing the shot, do it slow, boom, and you go to throw your hook, I'm seeing a little bit of an inside hook on you. Yeah. So you're turning a little bit much. I want you to think, so that's a good thing to think about. When we throw a left hook, if I'm here, come here real quick, throw a left hook at me. Okay, I can defend just a normal left hook. I can defend if I'm not turning and pretty much protect my chin, my neck, everything by doing this. But there you go ahead and hold your stance. Once I start to turn, even though my hand is up, I can still leave openings. So what I like to think is if you're throwing a hook and you're defending, you're covering your mouth because a lot of times your head wants to pop up and that angle changes. So now I'm protecting myself laterally, okay? Instead of it was on the ear, boom, you find that inside shot. So that's one thing I want you to think about, okay? Slow, boom, boom, oh, so much better. Boom, boom, good. A little stronger with this. Oh, you put me off balance. Boom, oh. That. So, hooking with a hooker, very important. Those are where you're gonna find your best shots, okay? Let's go back to a body shot. This is one of my favorite counters because you're kind of seeing that wave in MMA where liver shot, liver shot, liver shot. You'll hear me, I'm a liver shot. I love liver shots. Don't like to get hit with them. I love my fighters throwing them. So if I'm going to throw a liver shot, this is one of the best counters you can throw. If you got someone that hits to the body hard, know how to shut this down. When I go to throw a liver shot, boom. He just gave me a free liver shot. He's awesome. His strong body. Okay, so block this liver shot for me. Okay, so he tilts down, boom, and he gets a good defensive block here. Okay, what I want him to do is just right as he's blocking, is just poke his head a little bit to the side and then hook my shoulder on the same time, because one thing that happens on good liver punchers is they get very heavy on this lead foot and their hips are up because they're driving. So when I drop down to throw this, he's gonna hook my shoulder, and those type of shots, it's one of the most precise, and all you gotta do is just touch the chin because your position is down, driven, your ass is behind you. This is one of those counters that's so effective. Okay, so I throw the liver shot, boom, good. You don't even have to load it. Just sit, ass out. Yeah, don't do nothing with your feet. Let's just think, sit, ass out. Like that. So when you're seeing shots, how do we use our defense catching shots to open shots? Very important. How do we follow attacks and what they're doing with counters? So important.